All right, welcome back, everyone. We are here with TCU, and I am joined by Reagan Peebley, ninth season as the head coach of the Horned Frogs, and she has brought 3 student athletes with her. Sophomore, Kenesha Godfrey, senior, Patricia Morris, and senior, Tara Manumala-Una. How did I do?
Yeah, that was okay. That was
not bad.
I
mean, I knew I was going to butcher it, and I would have just said, I would have just gone with the first name, but I didn't feel like that would be fair.
So it's Manumala-Una.
Okay, see, I missed the syllable in there.
Yeah.
Not bad. Okay. Coach, this season, you're going to have a lot of new faces, but there's no Lauren Hurd on the floor anymore, which everyone in the Big 12 is going to be hard to get used to, I know, and probably even difficult for you not to have her in the backcourt. A challenging non-conference schedule will be a chance to see how this group blends together. What stood out to you in the first few weeks of practice here?
Yeah, well, you know, nowadays it doesn't really feel like it's just been a first few weeks.
That's true.
We are feeling almost
practice.
like year round, right? But yeah, we do have a lot of new faces, and we're excited about these new faces. Lauren was really important, very special to our program, both on the floor and off the floor, and she's continuing her pro career right now. Excited for her. But we also feel like we can be a little bit harder to guard this year. We became a little bit too one-dimensional, you know, and she was a great scorer for us. She, you know, all-time leading scorer at TCU for men's or women's basketball. But we've got a lot more pieces, I think, right now. We diversified our offense, and we're excited about that with those new pieces. And we're able to see that with the practices that we've been able to put together so far.
Absolutely. Now, there was a lot of close games, close losses that you had last season. What are some of those keys that you take out of those games as you look back on them for this new group and say, these are the things that are going to help us get over the hump for this season?
Well, a few things in that space. One, on the offensive end, again, as I mentioned, I think we were just too predictable where we were going to go, who was going to be that one to try to create that score. So that made us a little bit easier to game plan and stop. You know, we've really tried to focus a lot on just ball security, taking care of the ball. We played in congestion a lot last year, so just working on trying to expand the paint open more for us with that perimeter play. But ideally, we want to try to prevent some of those super close games. And we feel also with some of the additions that we've made and the improvements that the returners have made, defensively, our perimeter plays improved. And we've got to, you know, definitely sing Trish's praises in the paint. Her growth has been phenomenal, and just really presenting that inside presence and rim protection.
All right, Patricia, I'm going to take the first question to you then. You're kind of the veteran now on this team and also in the Big 12, so you've been around the block a little bit. What have you told some of your new teammates about what they're going to see night in, night out competition-wise in the Big 12?
Well, I've definitely told my teammates just how physical the Big 12 is. It's definitely not like any other conference. You have to be ready every game. You have to be on every game. Strong starts, super important. That's what I've been telling them. But.
No, that seems like that would be a very logical way to go. Now, Coach has said that she sings your praises, such an improvement. What did you focus on in the offseason individually to get you ready for this year?
I worked on a lot.
That a girl.
This summer, especially just like getting stronger, and then skill-wise, just working on being more of a presence down low in the post. So definitely rebounding, finishing, blocking shots, all that stuff.
All right. Tara, I have heard Coach talk a lot before about competition in practice and about how important that is and that it prepares you for games. How competitive have your practices been here over the past few weeks? And do you guys feel like that's really starting to take hold and that competition is going to really be a benefit for all of you?
Yeah, I just think in general, just TCU and its culture, like it's just very competitive. Like we don't take off days every time we step on the floor, whether we got stuff going off on, you know, outside of basketball. Like we, you know, you walk onto the court, it's basketball, it's time to be a hooper. But we just compete. Like we, you know, looking to the left, we got teammates to the left of us, teammates to the right of us. Like we're just battling against each other, but you know, we're just pushing each other every day. And I think that the end result is gonna, you know, help us win. Just build team chemistry, just a competing culture. But yeah, I think we've been doing really good in the past few weeks in practice. So yeah.
Well, that's good to hear. And competition goes a long way. It gets you ready to go. All right, Kanisha, you came to TCU at mid-semester last year.
Yes, ma'am.
Weren't able to play, but were able to practice. How excited are you, first off, just to get back out there to play some games, but what are you going to bring to the floor this year for this Horned Frog squad?
First off, I just want to say that I have an amazing coach, and she just pours so much into her players, and we really appreciate that. So that's something that's really helped me as I came and joined the team.
Yeah.
Something that I feel that I can bring to this team is just my competitiveness, my grit, and just wanting to win. So I feel like that's something that I'm going to bring, and I'm excited about, and I'm just really excited to play this season with my teammates and under my coach. Yeah.
Absolutely. Okay, now if anyone out there has a question, as I would like to remind you, I got Rachel and Christopher, so please just raise your hand. Coach, you got to think about that non-conference schedule to kind of get you ready for what you're going to have to do, playing everybody night in, night out, twice in the Big 12. What in those early games and in your non-conference scheduling do you, want to get accomplished? We know everybody's been talking about wins, but you know some of it's just going to be progress. What are you looking for out of this group early?
Well, yeah, we've got, again, a lot of new pieces. So we don't expect ourselves to be peaking on November 7th in
Which is
that
good.
first
That's
game,
probably okay.
right? But we definitely want to be ready for that moment. And there's not one game in particular. Do we feel like that's the game, that's the start game to really kind of be the litmus test for us? It's just continuing to the whole way through. 3 of our first 6 games are against NCAA tournament teams, very good NCAA tournament teams. We'll get an opportunity to test ourselves on the road. That was a space that we didn't feel great about with our season last year, is taking that step, and defensively, that'll help us. If we can get better defensively, we'll win on the road more. So playing at North Carolina, at Rice, those are 2 tough games for us. And then, you know, I think we really pride ourselves that we are the host of the Maggie Dixon Classic every year.
That's awesome.
And we'll host South Florida in that game, and Oklahoma is going to be participating in that with us as well, bringing a little bit more Big 12 flair.
That's fantastic, and
Yeah.
it is a wonderful game, and it's a great thing to be able to have that you guys have that on your campus. One more question before I let you go: is you talked about defense. I know it's something that competition in practice. I think it probably goes back to your days as a player and what you've brought as a coach. So what are you looking for out of this group, just to be able to, do you want to play faster? Do you want to play out in the full court? Or is this going to be about just literally shutting people down in the half court?
Well, we didn't recruit people because they were great defenders.
You're going to make them a defender.
We're going to really work on that. We
There we go.
recruited and brought in a lot of great scorers.
Okay.
We also brought in winners. And we brought in some great transfers that have that NCAA tournament experience. We have a couple of them here on the stage with us.
Yeah.
They know what it takes to win. And they know that, the better your offense is, the less pressure it puts on your defense. But likewise, that defensive end of the floor puts less pressure on your offense. So we want to be great on both ends of the floor. We want to play efficiently. That's more important to us than having a certain possession number we're anticipating, or having to get a certain pace number. We want to play to the highest level of our capacity, and letting both ends of the floor really demonstrate. Again, this team's chemistry is so good. This is the hardest working team that I've coached here at TCU.
Awesome.
They spend the most time in the gym, and they spend tons of time with each other. That way. So as we can produce that chemistry into synergy, I think we can be really good on both ends of the floor.
Well, that sounds fantastic. And hats off to you ladies for putting in all the work, and it will be a pleasure to watch you this year. We're going to let the student athletes and Coach Peebley go to the next round, and we will have student athletes and coach from Oklahoma in just a few minutes. Thank you all, and best of luck this season.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.